This time on Red Dirt Diary, I'm introing it on behalf of Stephanie Nye. She's on her way here. I just shut down the last episode, which was suspension, and I'm kicking off the next one because we're not stopping and we're bringing this to you guys live and really, really fast.
This episode we can install the rally safe mounts.
The rally safe mounts. Okay, cool. That works well because we're going to do harnesses as well.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll let you explain to everyone what that is because it's a little bit out of my pay grade and you're the expert, so we'll see you when you get here.
All right, I'll do that when I get there.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I'm glad she's coming fresh because we're not. You can build cars in all sorts of crazy, funky ways because it doesn't need to go on the road. You don't need to worry too much about like compliance. Obviously, you're just focusing on safety and performance. So that's really sick. So we're going to fit the wheels and tires in this episode. They're 37s and they do not fit, which means we get to get the grinder out and put it all over YouTube because we don't really care showing guys how we're going to make them fit because this car doesn't have rego and it never, ever, ever will. So I'm excited about that, to chop this car up a little bit and, yeah, continue working late into the night and see how far we can get. I hope Steph brings some food for us when she comes. Also, by the way, I've got my best friend here throughout this whole thing. Hi. She's just here for moral support.
Well, guys, I'm officially here for the Arvo shift. I hope you can hear me over the grinding that's happening in the background. Jack is finishing off my custom switch panel for my dash. But I just want to let you know that Bridget has headed home because she has been here all day working on this race car. We officially have the beadlocks fitted to the tyres. So that's got the BlackRock cage beadlocks in a silver ring fitted to the Yokohama XMTs, which are their G005s. They're aggressive mud tyre. That's in a 37-inch tyre. And I think it's starting to look like a race car. So next up, we have to do a couple of things. And this is where it starts getting stressful because it's just little jobs that tend to blow out and throw into roadblocks. And I think today was the first time that Bridget actually understood that the adrenaline for racing doesn't hit when you get to the race. It's now, like, it's crunch time now. We've got basically 3 weeks, not even 3 weeks until we have to get this car on the back of a truck to send it up to Cobar. So we are pushing to get every little thing done. We're talking things like 12 volts. So we need lighting, we need radios. We've got to get the harnesses fitted. What are we going to be doing next? We're actually moving this car out of Roadrunner. It has been so amazing to be here using the hoist, but we're kind of taking over a business and we don't want to get in their way for any longer than we have to. So we're going to take it back home and get it into the garage. And while it's in the garage, we're going to be installing the hardcore lighting. So we're putting a 40-inch light bar on the front. We're doing the angle mount lights on the side, and then we're doing a 30-inch light bar on the rear. So that's going to give us 360-degree view. Then we're also going to find a way to get the Hyperion lights in the bull bar.
I love the in-depth back and forth debate that these two are trying to have about what the night stage is going to be and about we're trying to figure out our amber lights for our hardcore lighting. Continue with the argument that you're having.
It's not an argument, it's just a discussion.
Okay.
Because I was...
You're not going to stop mid-stage, get out and put covers on your lights, so you need to have options.
Yeah,
and
but
roof lights suck in the dust, rain or any kind of
100%. I just don't think that there's going to be a time other than the Rampage stage where we're going to be in the dark going fast enough to worry about distance. The 40-inch Hyperion light bar on the roof with the amber covers. Number one, it's going to reduce glare off the white bonnet, which is never fun. And we're so close to the bonnet because we're so small, it's just going to be in our eyes. And that'll give us, I don't know, a couple 100 meters. We'll have to check the lux, but I'm assuming 500-700 meters of light. And that's going to be on one switch. And then if we feel like we need distance, we're going to put the 9-inch Hyperions in the bull bar. And then we'll make the call. We'll go do like a pre-night drive or something. And then we'll put the film, the amber film on.
Yeah, I'll speak to that. So the 9-inch Hyperion drive light, I know very well. It's just come out. The product is so new. It's so new that they don't even have all the colours for the accent rings or even the cases. Meaning they don't have a lens cap that is amber yet. It's literally 5 minutes old. So we need to work around that. That's going to be race compatible. So Steph said,
I know a trick. We just get like an amber clear like contact film.
Yeah.
We stick it on. Problem is we commit to amber. Once that's on there, it's not interchangeable. So the reason we do amber is it cuts through the dust. If you ever think about when you're driving in the rain or the snow and the LEDs they're a cooler white than obviously either a halogen or whatever. So it bounces off whatever's in front of you if it's a light color.
Yeah.
And dust is one of those really crucial things that we know we're not going to be the fastest out there. We've said a lot of the time we're going to be the tortoise in the hare.
we're going to be the fastest out there.
We're going to be the tortoise in the hare. So naturally being at the back of the pack, we are going to be considering dust A, for visibility, B, for air filters. We're going to be cleaning and like rotating through those as much as we can because we are anticipating to not be at the head of the group.
Whatever. But I agree with her. So that's what we're going to do. We've also got the 40-degree angle work lights, one for either side. I'm a huge fan of them, and mounted in a high location, they throw super wide for such a little light. And then we've also got a light bar for the rear. I think all things considered, we're 360 covered.
Yeah, that was my game plan. 360 covered, plus hopefully some driving lights tucked into that bull bar because when we're racing, we don't need headlights.
But wait, you're thinking of taking them out? We won't pass scrutineering. Don't you have to have a working headlight?
No.
Oh.
Race car.
I don't know anything about racing.
Racing. Yeah, we don't need headlights.
New bit of knowledge unlocked. Didn't know that. Okay, anyway, we're waiting. We're 24 hours out from the delivery of the lights. Aligned with that, we're also going to put in our radio.
Fine. I'm going to find a spot to mount this
Okay.
up what would usually be behind the dash, but we don't really have a real dash.
Can I just do it off the floor?
This in a spot where we can access it nicely. This obviously is going to go on the bull bar when that gets installed.
I'm just curious, is it a requirement to have, you know how there's the radio with buttons on here or buttons, is this like there's no difference?
No, no requirement as long as we can get onto the channel. So each stage marshal will have different radio channels. So there'll be points where we've maybe got 4 stages that we can see visibly. So every time we get to a stage, they'll tell us what channel we've got to move to because we want to, you're not even listening.
I am. So they'll tell us what channel we need to get to.
So we want to be able to quickly change channels, go to our stage, come down to the next one. So we don't want to be finding our base unit, stuff like that. We want neat, simple, only want to be able to touch what we need, not have anything else there that's going to get in our way.
Oh, okay. So what I'm hearing is we have an overkill, more flash radio than what we need, and people probably just use like the cheapest thing on the market that looks like it's straight out of the 70s.
But so I want mine out of the way so we can't bounce into the wrong channels.
And free plug, you can change the colour of the display screen to pink.
No.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to be your job once it's powered up. Let's get this.
Couldn't tell you how to do it, but I just know that it does it. Bronson did it for me in my car, and I've never touched it since. See, I know that's sick. Where do you want to put your aerial?
On the bull bar when we get it.
We're just having a debate, right? I want to run the aerial at the back of the car. Steph wants to put it at the front, which I completely understand. Jake's saying put it at the back because then it won't get knocked out by trees and stuff. I've always run them at the back of my car, 1, because it's cool, and 2, I don't believe that it damages or affects frequencies at all. I've asked I've asked Oricom, I've asked EcoX, I've asked GME, and they're all like, it's fine. But Steph seems to believe. So
the way that it works is that it's going to be sending and receiving in a radius from where it is. So if you've got metal inhibiting 20, 30% of that, surely that's going to make a difference.
The key word here you just said is surely. So you're not 100%.
But neither are you, because I spoke to people. No one's actually gone and looked at the specs of it. And then as a backup, we've got our handhelds if we need to be able to communicate to our pit crew if something goes wrong or things like that. So that's going to go in. And then lastly, the biggest stress that I had today was I didn't realize that the harnesses that I purchased got put on a back order. I might have missed the email, I'm not too sure, but I realized today that I want to be installing harnesses and they're not in my pile of things to go into the car. So stressed, I rang everybody that I knew in the industry, and when we say industry, we mean racing. So we're not just talking off-road, we're obviously talking drift and street car and all sorts of other things. Bridget and I are running the factory seats, which is why we can use the Razorback seat covers. But what we can't do is put a 6-point harness in because there's obviously no holes coming through the seats to be able to get those in. So we've opted for a 4-point harness, and I couldn't find any in the country. Like, I'm holding my head because I was so stressed today trying to find a 4-point harness. Nobody had them. Then people said to me, you can actually run a 5-point without the crotch strap. Again, dead end, because I want them to be a 3-inch wide strap. I don't want a 2-inch. It's going to start hurting our collarbones, especially being in them for so many days. So I ended up finding this company, Long Boosted Performance. They're up in Queensland. Craig took my phone call and he said, I'm out of stock. They're on back order. The black ones are out of stock. But he said, I can custom make you pink harnesses. Would that work for you? I said, Craig, we're running a pink roll cage. I would love to show you a photo, but here's my YouTube link to see what we're up to. Could you please make me a 4-point harness in a pink? That is just insane. So I said, send me the link, send me the order, got it paid. He's express posted it. So Bridget and I are going to be getting that in the car tomorrow. Look at these custom harnesses, Bridget. She's very busy. She doesn't care right now, she's welding. Guys, how did they pull this off? Like, Bridget's going to be so happy. I want Bridget here for this. It's so important that that fits correctly because first aid is sexy and safety is sexy, and we have to get these right because if we go tumbling I need to make sure that we're not going to push up out of these harnesses. So it's really important that I have Bridget here to make sure that her harness is in the correct position. We officially don't need seatbelts because we have harnesses. We are stressed. Now you see why we've aligned with a company like Adrenaline. It's not just for the race episode. Everyone is pushing. We've got fuel lines being finalised and my son is here. Hi. Do you want to say hi to the camera? You come in for night shift? What are we having for dinner? This is the reality of being a mum and building a race car. Shift change, and definitely thank you to my dad who had Oakley last night and my mum who picked up Oakley from daycare. This is the first time I've seen my son in 36 hours, but he's very excited because he actually gets to write on the race car in the pink texter today that everybody else did at the Melbourne 4x4 show. So that's really special to me. Anyway, I'm rambling. I hope that gave you a big overview on what is happening next. So stay tuned. We're going to be very busy gals. I've taken the nails off and I think Bridget should do the same. It was working and now it's not working and we don't know why. I don't know why this keeps happening. It's just the fuel. It's because we keep messing with the fuel. We've taken out the sub tank. I don't know. I've got all the petrol experts I can find. One's a fuel expert as well. So I'm sure we'll be fine, but I really just I was hoping for an early night tonight-ish.
It's the feed line that's the
Yeah.
size.
Photo that comes
Of
up.
course. Did you swap the return line at the back so now the return line is not the return line?
I'll call you after.
So that's fuel into the rail. Fuel pressure reg's on the return
I did
side.
it backwards.
The fuel pressure reg provides the restriction to
Thank
create
God you're
the fuel
here.
pressure.
See, I use LS, not TB. I got one line in.
Well, cut to the next day. We are here at my mate Jake's house and they have been working on the car tirelessly. Well, we've been taking some other things off, but the crew are very busy. I can see Bridget's in there doing something with her seat. Jake's over there grinding or welding, or I think he's making brackets for my rear lights. But anyway, I am so keen to get stuck in and make this look like a race car with all of its compliance things. Today is just ticking things off. It's very busy. How you doing?
Good. I'm glad you're here.
Thank God you're here.
Thank God you're here, Steph. Steph and I have a very different skill set. We may as well monopolise on that. Steph's going to run cable and do a bunch of 12-volt installing accessories, which you'd think I would have learned at this point and how to do basic level stuff like that, but I haven't, but I know that she can.
My dad, who's an electrician, has given me this conduit. So this from here runs all the way down there and it's very dark in here through the firewall. So here's your little feeder, Bridgie.
That's actually so smart. The next time I'm building a car,
I'm on a master conduit.
but I can fabricate an above average amount, so I'm going to put her roof bar on and just finish doing bits and pieces to the roof so that she can put stuff to that. So I'm just going to shut up, put a helmet on and just...
She's going to go weld. I'm going to go wire everything for the rally safe, which is really important that is foolproof. This is our rally safe mount, and basically this is what communicates to the race control where we are, because there is points in the race where spectators can't see us. We go quite far away. So basically what happens is there is a antenna that gets put up onto the roof. We wire everything in, and then we have a mount for the screen that gets put in when we get there, and that's how they communicate with us. So they can send short character messages and we can respond, basically saying yes, no, we need help, SOS, life or death situation, things like that. So basically it's pretty straightforward. I've got to get a hole through the roof, and you can see obviously this is someone's nice white roll cage. Hole through the roof, I get the antenna leads through the hole, and then it gets put to the roll cage. So I'm going to do all the rally safe, the radios and the lighting, but Bridget's going to do all the mounts for me to put those things there.
Yep,
so
that's
basically
easy.
dream team. Pal, let's go.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm hoping all of it's on the bench. It won't be, and then you'll see me just upside down, bend backwards, trying to
Hanging
put
off.
something together.
Don't smash a window.
Oh no, I didn't do that.
I did that.
I didn't do that.
Somebody smashed my window.
was me.
Lucky we're going to wrap the car in green. What Bridget is currently welding is this crossbar onto our gutter mounts, and what we need this for is because we have to install these blue and red flashing lights. Now obviously it's a race car, it doesn't need tail lights, but we do need a way to tell the cars that are behind us, because obviously we're going so fast that we're stopping. So there's blue and red lights that are up here so they're going to be able to see us, which means that even if it's really dusty and stuff like that, they're going to know that we're there.
Now that the roof bars are all done and everything is ready, it's time to start putting our lights to the car, which Steph is going to do as soon as they arrive tomorrow. The timing just didn't work out perfectly with my flight and blah, 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 but that's okay. Everything that we're doing, we've gone with hardcore. Of course, we had to have the best. We've got a 40-inch light bar at the front, We do have some lights in the bull bar, but I'll get to those at the very end because they're like the best bit, and I have my fingers crossed because I have a wild idea. We've got the 45-degree angle work lights that I have on my cruiser. We've got them up here as well. They project a better value light when mounted in a high location. They have amber, blah, blah, blah. I have them on my cruiser. I absolutely love them. They're really good for dust, and they're really good for bugs, even though we're not really putting it together for bugs, but you kind of get the point. At the back, there'll be a 30-inch light bar. There'll also be the dust lights. I've had to learn a little bit about that in the last couple of days. They're the red and blue, like racing lights. The only other thing that I think I am missing is that, like I said, I have to leave. So Steph, being the electrical queen in our team, she's going to rig all this up, probably with her dad's help as well, because there is a fair bit to do. But I unfortunately can't stay and help her do that. So it'll be like a little bit of a tag team where you'll see me step out and she'll step in, and then those will go on. But I just really wanted to speak to them because that was a big request of mine, to be able to use their equipment. And I've opted for stuff that I've literally used on my own cars before. So I know that they're tough, I know that they're reliable, and I really like using them personally. So I want to see them happen on this car as well. But to that, thank you Hardcore so much for helping us.
I just checked in my Facebook.
What?
Guess how many days until we race?
I don't know, I want to know. What?
So Cliffhanger just put like
Does it have a 2 in front of the number?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still 2.
Okay.
I just put up a thing saying, oh, hi guys. 23 days until we race. Well, we're filming this episode and you're going to see it in 4 days. So 19 days when this goes live. Right, well, that's a wrap for today. We have had a super productive day. We've got seat covers in the car. We have harnesses in the car. There's a tail shaft, which means I officially have a 4-wheel drive, not a front-wheel drive. Everybody's going to have an early night tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow to finalise just about everything else. Okay, bye. Well, we have got all hands on deck at the moment. We've got Jack over here doing some extra work on the intake. I've got my dad making some brackets so that we can mount the isolator in position so that tomorrow when it goes to Jeff, the high mount guy, he can put the wires to the isolator and we just don't have any extra wires. We're not sort of worrying about too much. We've been working really hard. We've got some lights mounted up the top there as well. And the final piece of the puzzle, I just want to be able to see if we're going backwards in the dark. We're mounting a light bar back here. Cam's working out a way to put a bracket off my spare wheel. Obviously, we're not going to be using that. The 37 is going to be too big to hang off the door. So we're just going to repurpose that. So anyway, thanks for staying tuned. And this is probably going to be the last time the car's going to be in this garage, I think. After this, it's going to the high mount guy. And then from there, we'll take it to Roadrunner. We'll do the full wrap and everything like that. So it's finally coming together. We're getting there. But this tonight is going to be a late one. So hopefully we can get everything tied up and ready to go to Jeff's, put it on the trailer for tomorrow.